Recording.
Hello and welcome everyone here from the Coherence Meditation Gym, or if you're watching this on YouTube, come and join the gym. This is explanation to Blessing of the Energy Center 7 in preparation for our meditation this upcoming Saturday. We always have meditations ongoing at the Coherence Meditation Gym, and we have been progressing from Blessing of Energy Centers 1. We're at 7 right now, and we'll continue on till 10. I know that that's the latest one, and then we'll start over. So come and join us. And if you need explanations to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you can look here on my YouTube channel. I have explanations for each one of those, and they're all based on Dr. Joe's explanations that come with the meditations. What I do is I take notes, and in this case, I'm going to be reading and just reflecting a little bit after a paragraph or two, just to add from my experience and for just technical things of what we can do to enhance this practice to make it better. The purpose of the Coherence Meditation Gym is to have a place where we can gather, where we can synchronize in meditation from people from all over the world. There's a beautiful community that has been growing and continues to expand. So it is a blessing to be able to do it through technology and to build community. So I'm going to be reading off of the explanation, and let's just dive right in. So this is a lying meditation, laying down. So it is an advanced meditation. He does recommend that we do blessing energy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because it is advanced and because it's laying down. So from the 4 types of meditation, we have the seated one, we have a standing meditation, we have walking meditation, and we have the laying down, this is the first one that he has released to the public, and being hesitant to do that. He mentions that here because if we haven't learned to and practice how to change, regulate, and control our brain waves, and as we move from beta to alpha to theta, then more likely we'll slip into the delta and fall asleep. And if we fall asleep, then we are missing the door to where the magic happens. We don't want that. This is why, it is important to practice before attempting to do this one. So it's laying down because it's designed to stay in a low level alpha or high level theta state. So if we remember, it's the analytical mind that separates the conscious mind from the subconscious mind. So as we slow down our brain waves, we silence the critical mind, and this opens the door to theta, the state between the conscious and subconscious mind, and the place where the unique and mystical experiences occur. So by walking through it, we begin to program our autonomic nervous system and thus begin the process of creating more homeostasis, balance, and healing our body. So again, I'm just going to repeat that briefly. So the analytical mind is the one that separates the conscious mind from the subconscious mind. And as we slow down our brain waves, we silence that critic in our mind. It's magic. So, okay, so then we start off with we lay down, and then we're going to do a particular type of breath as we're laying down. The purpose of this breath is to take energy from the first 3 centers and pull it up all the way back up into our brain. This energy activates the pineal gland. It's very similar to the seated breath, where we pull our mind out of our body and ascend our energy. That breath if we are familiar with that seated one. So this is different because we're laying down, but we're still, we're pulling, you know, that energy from the first three centers all the way to our brain, which activates the pineal gland, which is what we want. So to begin without contracting any intrinsic muscles, we inhale, taking one slow, steady breath, flowing our breath with our attention from our perineum through our lower abdomen, then through our upper abdomen, through our chest, to our throat, with our attention all the way up to the back of our brain, right to where the pineal gland sits between the back of our throat and the back of our head. And as we rest our attention on our pineal gland in the back of our brain, we'll continue to hold our breath. Keeping our attention on the pineal gland, we will then contract our intrinsic muscles all at once. This includes lifting and contracting our perineum, contracting and squeezing our lower abdomen, pulling our belly button towards our spine, and our upper abdomen while we pull our shoulders down and straighten our spine and stretch our spine. Straighten and stretch our spine. At the exact same time, we'll contract all these muscles and hold our breath. He wants us to push or press our breath up against the pineal gland, increasing pressure in that area, while squeezing and tightening those intrinsic muscles more. So we hold our breath for a few seconds and then relax. We're going to be practicing this breath a few times before we start blessing each energy center. Our attention should always be on our pineal gland when we get to the top of our breath, because that is our target. So we're pulling from 1, 2, 3 up, and the target is the pineal gland. So this increases the mechanical stress or pressure to create that electrical charge that once the system is electrically activated, those small tiny crystals in the pineal gland begin to vibrate, picking up frequencies like a radio receiver. So once we do a series of these breaths, it will be time for us to bless our energy centers laying down. So just like we do with the blessing of energy centers, except that we're laying down. And so he's going to say 1. That's our cue to place our attention on our first energy center. And he will guide us to tune into the center's energy within us and all around us, all around the center. Then he will move move our awareness to energy center number 2, ask us to put our awareness on number 2. And when he says 2, we will repeat the same process by tuning into the energy of the energy center number 2. Before we move to 3, he will say 1, 2 at the same time. So once we can feel both of the energy centers at the same time, he wants us to allow the energy from the first center to flow to the second center. And he'll say, open up, and then let that energy flow into 2. And he wants us to feel it. As we feel it, we simply notice it flow and feel the 2 together. So as we remember that in some, I believe it was, I'll have to make note of which one where we're connecting each energy center, where he's opening, it's like we're opening up the pathways between each energy center. So when that's what part of what we're doing here is like connecting each one as we go up each energy center. And as we feel it, we simply notice it flow and feel the two connected in a practical way. We're taking the vital force that creates life and makes a baby from energy center 1 that rests dormant in energy center 1 and moving it to energy center 2. Then he will give us the instruction to move our attention to the 3rd energy center. And after we keep our attention on that energy center 3 for a few moments, he will then ask us to tune into its energy within us and within and around it. And then he will say 1, 2, 3, all at once, aligning, attuning, connecting, giving us the instruction to allow that energy from energy center 2 to move to 3, opening up those chambers, that pathway between energy centers. And what he wants us to do is feel it, notice it, experience the flow into energy center 3, and pay attention to it, surrender to it, enjoy it. And so then after that, we know what comes next. But except that those are the 3 first energy centers, the ones that keep us, in our survival, the ones prior to our center number 4 that connects our lower energy centers with our upper energy centers. So at this point, he acknowledges that many of us might be falling asleep. So in order to prevent that, he's going to ask us to perform the other breath while laying down. This is the breath where we inhale through our nose to the back of our head and all the way to the top. And he'll say, exhale. And he wants to force all that air out. He wants us to force all that air out. And he says we should feel it in the back of our throat. And it will be as if we are making an exhale, ha. So that sound. So then he's going to say, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And if we're forcing it out with the same sound as we perform, we'll be forcing it out with the same sound as we perform a series of these breaths. So inhale, ha, ha, ha. That's going to wake us up. I don't think we can stay asleep if we're making that sound and forcing the air out as we exhale. So the purpose of this breath is to oxygenate our brain so that we don't slip into delta. This keeps us in that rare field state of theta where we are half awake and half asleep. We'll do a series of these. Some of us won't feel like it because we'll be falling asleep, which is precisely the time to do it. Then we'll move to energy center 4. Locate it, pay attention to it, tune into the power of love and receive and feel it. He will then say 1, 2, 3, 4, and he'll do the same thing. He'll ask us to do the same thing as we did prior. And what we're doing is taking that life force from that first center and slowly pulling it up. We feel that same intensity of energy. Then we'll go to the 5th center. We'll find it, perform the same actions, and then tune into its energy, 5. And then we'll repeat the process all the way to 8. And then he's going to ask us to unfold into the field. Here is where he wants us to take the greatest energy, frequency, and feeling and connect to it. If we're in the void and we become one with the void, then all possibilities exist. If we are, we select actually the frequency that we want to raise our body's energy to. So we select a frequency that we want to raise our body's energy to, then we'll draw it in from 8 to 7 to 6, from 6 to 5, all the way, animating our body parts with this energy. And then we, as we draw from the field, we feel it, we embody it, we embody this energy all the way down to our neck, shoulders, arms, elbows, wrists, hands, into 4. We feel it in our chest, lungs, heart, shoulder blades, upper torso, and then we'll go down to 3. We'll feel it in our lower torso, then to 2, and to finally to 1. We feel that energy in our entire body, and then we'll fall asleep, except that if we are, if we're doing it together, we'll take a few moments to actually gather ourselves, and whomever wants to stay, I'm talking about as we get together in synchrony. And obviously if we're doing this in another setting, it sounds like the perfect time to just go and fall asleep, because this is he mentions right here is the perfect way to end the meditation, to doze off and allow our autonomic nervous system to take all those instructions. So when we come together on Saturday to synchronize in meditation, I think that I will give, this is an hour and 15-minute long meditation. And for the purpose of the practice, and because of the setting, we will come back and share, as we always do, our experience, and perhaps make that shorter. And then whomever wants to, doze off and go to sleep, or, to do that afterwards. So if you haven't joined us in meditation before, I encourage you to do so. There's a link here below to join the Coherence Meditation Gym. It's a free open group for people that are into this work, that want to have community, that want to connect with others in practice. When we gather together, there is a collective energy that really enhances our practice. That's what collectively we've all noticed, that there's something really interesting that happens when we connect, and we don't have to be in the same room, in the same geographical area. We're in the field, we're connected in the field, and we can feel it. So I, encourage you to join the gym and come share with us. And I'm excited for this for Saturday. And, and again, if this is, if you've missed this recording and we've already done it, there's, just know that count every other Saturday as of now, we come together in meditation. And that's when we do blessing of energy centers. But on every other Wednesday, we do other meditations. The next one is tuning into new potentials. We do changing boxes last week. So there's always something ongoing. Join the gym. There's resources on how to do these meditations and other things that support our growth and our expansion. And it's a beautiful community. So looking forward to connecting with you. Well, for now, that's it. Remember to always come back to your heart. And if you need more support, you know that I'm here. I am a HeartMath certified coach and emotional wellness coach. I integrate tapping, Reiki, all the magic, and really love working with people one-on-one. And now we have, and I will talk about this more in our group, some opportunities for holding each other accountable, showing up, sharing our experience, asking questions. So a little bit more of just a, an open dialogue ongoing as to how to make our meditations better and stay coherent. Coherence to me is the name of the game. When we're in heart coherence, especially, we're truly coming from our authentic true self that has come here to make a big contribution to this world by being our authentic selves and sharing our gifts and talents and our beautiful selves in whatever way we're meant to do that. All right, that's it for now, and I'll see you around here.